Madam Speaker, we have a lot of business today, and as if the minister wants to teach us something that has come after the time they had. I would pray that she says they are going to do something to educate the masses and the parents on learning how the grading is carried out. But explaining how A, B, and what is he going to spend much of our time? That was some bit of laziness on their side. The teachers have time.
Honorable members, we are the ones who approved that curriculum here. We did approve. All what we need is to understand. We need just to understand. I know something that comes, a new idea is always not acceptable easily. But what we need to do is understand the process so that we are able to explain to the people outside there. So, Honorable Minister, yes, we are going to give you time. You come back and take us through. Because we are the voice of the voiceless. We are the ones who can go and explain to our voters outside there. So we will put you on the order paper, then you come and explain to the House.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. I agree and oblige to your directive. This is a continuous process that we need to bring a paper, and I pledge to bring a paper next week in that effect. I thank you.
Thank you. We shall have the paper on Tuesday. We shall have the paper on Tuesday. Yes, former Lob.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We are already faced with very many questions. And next week will be too far. How about at least answering some of the basic questions tomorrow? For example, you know those days, even if they say no repetition of classes, at least sometime who has done very badly can repeat. Now, a person who has failed, where do we take that person? With the EEEE, where do we take the person? Cannot repeat. It is not going to be given chance. And they're asking us such questions. Asking us such questions. How do we answer?
Honorable Hall, I have already made a ruling to that effect. Next week is not far. We have a lot of business, like the way Honorable Ssewungu said. Yes.
Honorable Speaker, I'm hoping that the minister sees the predicament we are grappling with now. Because as legislators, we're getting numerous calls from parents, from students, from teachers, who are not too sure how this has been happening. And it's taken about 4 years now since its inception. I want to encourage the minister that even as we wait for that statement here in Parliament, something that should have been ongoing already, if it has not, maybe it needs to start with immediacy. Can you bring the parents, the teachers, the students on board to know what exactly this is about? Because parents are calling us, teachers are calling us, and they are wondering how was the grading done. I was actually shocked because I should be the one calling a teacher to help me understand, meaning you have not brought the teachers on board, the parents, the students. I don't know where you have been for all these 4 years. So if it's not been happening, it needs to start with immediacy. Honorable Speaker, even the statement that will come to Parliament, as much as we need it with immediacy, I think it is not adequate. Ministry, you need to go to these schools. You need to interact with the parents, with the teachers, with the students, to know what this new curriculum is about. I was actually shocked that many parents, many teachers, many students are not aware. We need to fix this.
Honorable Minister, we'll wait for the report on Tuesday, but at the same time, you also need to engage your teachers on ground. You should have meetings with the teachers, with the DEOs, the PTA meetings, so that people get to understand. Honorable members, can you listen? So you need to give that information to the population. on how the grading process is done, so that they come to understand. If I am not being put, I'm going to chase that those uncles of mine there and aunties, so that people understand. If I have a 2, result 2, why am I not being given a certificate and that kind of thing? Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I undertake to do that as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable next. What's wrong with the Honorable Kabana? What has he done? I have a busy
Yes,
order paper.
But we raised an issue on contempt of Parliament yesterday. We don't know much
Honorable
about what
Ssewungu.
happened with Honorable Kabanda.
Honorable Ssewungu, I have not given you time. Please. Next item.
Motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this is a follow-up on the commitment that was made on this floor by the Ministry of Justice, represented by the Attorney General, on the prisoners on detention. And it was your order, Madam Speaker.
To put it on the order paper.
Yes, that the Attorney General, who had requested for, in fact, he said the next sitting he would be available to provide that list here. And up to today, we still have those long list of people who are incarcerated, the different categories, and the Attorney General is not moving this Parliament in that right direction. Relatedly also, Madam Speaker, this House was receiving briefings every week on the progress by the executive on implementation of the orders of the Supreme Court. It was an agreement here that would be updated on the steps that they were taking, and would be happy to receive from the Attorney General the latest. Given that we are reading so much, I'm sure you have learned, I have learned too, that one of the principal prisoners, Dr. Besigye, is indisposed. An explanation has been made that he is actually on a hunger strike. And that does not speak well, because this House made pronouncement in regard to that matter, and several others who are in Karamoja, in Lira, different prisons. So would the Attorney General honor that commitment that he made to this House, that he would bring the complete list and then the status of each and every person who is detained and the steps that they are taking to ensure that they access justice, Madam Speaker?
And on the ruling?